fire, 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 fire. People were mad that during Bethesda showcase, Starfield said was CGI and no in-game content, but the whole showcase was shot in game. So, there, it doesn't mean that it's. No Man's Sky got good though? Yeah, but the scam they ran. Such a good video. And the song is such a banger.
I'm Todd Howard, T-O-D-D, H-O-W-A-R-D.
T-O-D-D.
Fallout 3. This is an enormous dynamic world.
Such a banger.
The game has over 200 dungeons, all handcrafted. And one of the great
Tell
things
me
about
lots
having a fully dynamic game engine is all of this just works.
Just works. Are you thinking of Fallout 76 that turned into a scam? No. No Man's Sky started as a scam because it shipped completely unplayable and then it became good. It's still a scam. They scam people out of money. Tell me sweet little lies.
These NPCs are not scripted.
They're not scripted. Oh,
You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
tell me sweet little lies.
Go where you want.
I love
Run,
this.
Do whatever
You
want.
cannot. Fuck you.
This is the golden age of gaming. Make the player proud.
Oh,
Make yourself proud that you made it. Make your player proud that he.
Make your player proud. I fucking love Todd. He's just like, doesn't give a fuck. I love this. Dude, I remember when I went to the EA store or EB Games store, not EA store. At my local place, wherever it's called, GameStop. And it was packed with these nerds lifting up their Skyrim special edition.
Bought it. And it works. It actually works perfectly. Our artists have painstakingly modeled over 9,000 objects. We actually have recorded around 1,000 of the most popular names for him to say. We have over 40,000 lines of recorded dialogue. All new rendering technology.
All new. Those are
You just put what you want in your hands, and that's really the character you're playing.
Such a
We
Chad.
made a real one.
Doesn't care.
What? Mods
What?
transferred, played, and shared for free.
Is this a Donkey video? I think this is a Donkey video where he ported in a bunch of like mods.
On Xbox One. And I want to be clear, actually, that feature is not coming out at launch.
Oh hell yeah! Little lies. Fallout 3 will have 200 endings. That was a fucking lie. Would you be interested in a Skyrim 4K VR PS5 edition? Oh hell yeah, give me that. Consume. I heard of that. I do remember that. It just works.
Like I said, it's great to be back here working with the amazing folks at Microsoft.
Radiant Infinite Quest? Yes, that was an actual thing. I remember when the game came out, that was something that he said. Not joking. Yeah. Infinite Quest. Look it up. You can play forever! I mean, to be fair, mods did help. But
We really hope you love the game. Thanks again.
tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Look,
I was
love
a
it.
kid. I was writing games when I was, 12, whatever. And the other kids in the block would say, I'm going to play quarterback for the Cowboys. And I'd be like, I'm going to make video games and everyone's going to play them.
Aww. How could you hate this little fuck, man? How could you hate him? He's so lovable, but such a little conniving little rat.
Dork. Go back to the chess club.
Come back
Who's
to the
laughing
chess.
now?
Who's laughing now?
Yes, I was in the chess club.
He's a lovable rat, dude. I can't. Who's laughing around? I am Bethesda.
Nilo.
Random spawn. Yeah.
Random spawn.
She hugged me and said, "This game better be really good."
If I could turn the page.
Hey, hello. Hi.
And time that I'd rearrange just a day or two. Close my.
In his defense, Todd Howard still made good games. Skyrim is still an amazing game. Fallout 3 is still an amazing game. 16 times the detail. It's just that the little lies right here in the top corner. He did, but the little lies, the cheeky little smile, and he's like, "Yeah, Infinite Quest chat." Did you watch the Chalk Eaters Todd Howard song? It just works. I have, long time ago.
Sometimes it doesn't just work.
I couldn't find a way, so I settled for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
The Fall of 76. Dude, I remember this. Yeah. Internet Historian made a really good comprehensive video on this. On the Fall of 76 situation. And there was a lot of people I remember talking to that coped about how it's like still a playable game at launch. I think even my brother played it at launch and he said it was unplayable. No Man's Sky is amazing now though. Yeah. Now. Should have been amazing at launch. Would have been even better than it is now. The people don't understand that when you make an improvement on a game and you release an amazing game, the things that you could have done in the future in hindsight is way more. Some eggs need more time to hatch. Yes, ship a finished game. I completely agree. Finish the game and ship it instead of shipping the game when it's not. Sony's fault for rushing it? Is it Sony's fault? I thought the developer promised a bunch of shit that he just couldn't do. They tried to delay it, but Sony was gonna kill the developers. So fucking delay it. Find another publisher. Go watch the Internet Historian on it. I have. I am completely aware. I know he was pressured, but you can fucking say no. I know it's really, really bad, but like it ruined the reputation of the game. At that point, Sony basically owned them. I don't know about that. I don't remember the video to a T. No, you can't, LOL, you lose your money. They lost their money regardless! They lost their publicity. Nobody gives a fuck about No Man's Sky now. Let's see. Stream charts. Steam charts. No Man's Sky. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, granted, it is 6 years ago, but the all-time peak was in what? When was this? All? Yeah, it's non-existent. It could have been such an amazing game. It could have been like quote-unquote Baldur's Gate 3. You really can't once you sign a publishing deal. There isn't really a way back out of it. But then why sign to Sony? Like, I understand that. Weren't they like an indie developer? Not because of the game itself, but because of the way they tried to cover up the fact that the game wasn't multiplayer. Yeah, no, it was horrible. Signed for money? Yeah, so greed, right? They were desperate for money. Find another way to source the money. Like, Sony is horrendous about deals. I personally would never sign with them. 4,000. I mean, granted, this doesn't show PS5 or PS4 or whatever. An Xbox. Sony's the devil? Oh yeah, they copyright strike people and do shit like that all the time. Small companies can't make games like No Man's Sky without a publisher. There are plenty of indie games that can do it, especially because this was not multiplayer. Fine, let's watch the Internet Historian on No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. The Ingoodening. The Ingoodening of No Man's Sky.
Sponsored by that game everyone loves.
I love Internet Historian. 1 hour? I know. Surely it's good. Just kidding. I know it's a good video.
Scientists are racing to unlock the secrets of the cosmos.
2-hour react?
Questions we once
No.
thought impossible to answer.
No,
In our
not 2 hours.
grasp. Where does the sun go at night?
Is
Up your
math
bum.
related to science?
No.
If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me?
As we look further into the universe, we see light from distant stars, eons old, perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away. Hold on. Can I get a zoom in on that?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes. Initiating 6 times zoom.
Show me No Man's Sky.
Can this baby do 7?
I can do you one better. Maneuvering to 8 times
8!
zoom.
Pressure rising, holding steady. I can see it.
Powerful.
Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
You're a madman.
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium tanks will go critical.
Opening the blind. Hold this
Oh
steady.
lord.
Uncropping and increasing aspect ratio.
No!
Now, punch it.
I love
There it
Internet
is.
Historian, so do I.
Life on another world.
Look how ugly this thing
And to fix
is!
We owe it all to
Trap
one indie
Advisor.
development
Thank you, I appreciate it.
studio. Hello Games.
Hello, games! Alright, I'm ready. Unload it on me,
Let's start
Internet
at
Historian.
the beginning.
The hype! I remember everyone was so excited for this game, dude. Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewind time.
Yo.
Okay. The year is 2009. Guildford,
Okay.
England. There's a
England.
man named Sean Murray, and he's just founded a company called Hello Games.
Sean and the boys are working hard on a brand new IP called Joe Danger. 2010
The orc
AD.
noise.
The game just came out. It's a success.
They're a small team, but they are ambitious.
Let's do something bigger, said Sean. Let's
No Man's Sky.
reach for the stars.
Yeah.
How about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out.
Who?
Bet that one doesn't perform as well.
Joe
We need
Danger
to do
2.
something
Oh,
even bigger
yikes.
than Joe Danger 2. Joe Danger 3?
No.
No. Even more out of this world. Something no man
British.
has done before.
Joe Danger the mobile game?
Yes! And that
No!
came out in 2014. Seriously, guys, biggest thing you can think of.
I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you think of something?
Sean pondered for a moment, then turned and
I
looked
can't.
wistfully into the mirror. Reflected
Mobile
back
games?
was the
Hey
vision of
man.
Neil
Raid
deGrasse
Shadow
Tyson.
Legends.
If you're gonna make a space game first person, it's never been done before. How about that? I'm going up in orbit to repair the Hubble telescope. That's not a knife. Who are you gonna have sex with? How much microwaves are coursing through your body?
Sex with aliens. I think I know why No Man's Sky failed. We can't have sex with aliens, that's why. They didn't include it.
The planet, said Murray. Space game. Procedural generation. Planet.
You can
Okay,
mod
that
it so
sounds
you
good.
can,
Yes,
but it
yes,
wasn't in the
we all
damn
agree.
game.
So they set to work, cobbled together
Unbelievable.
a prototype, and by VGX 2013, they are ready to announce another new IP.
No Man's Sky. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah! The Rock.
Oh, this is special.
Oh my god! Yeah!
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's Sky has
Overhyping a
promised
game,
to be
man,
game
before it's even
like
out.
no other.
Big mistake.
A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore. What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow,
Boobs!
look at that big f***ing dinosaur, holy shit. And a moment later, we're in space, having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own. Explore the galaxy with your friends.
Okay, that's it. This is gonna be the best game ever, you guys. It even won awards for its hype.
Wait, people get awards for hype? No, you're joking.
This is gonna be
What?
the best
No,
game
no,
ever,
no, no,
you
no, no,
guys.
no, no, no,
It
no,
even-
no. No. It's not even out yet. Why are you giving it awards? And you're telling me this is Sony's fault. I blame E3 for giving them awards.
Even won awards for its hype. And it will release in June 2016. The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out of the station. At every stop of the journey, there would be press junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game, spread across 18 quintillion planets.
18
It's so vast
quintillion,
that
that's
by
a
the time
lot.
you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published.
Sean himself was doing the interviews. Because who is better to talk about the game than the lead guy himself? He went from interview to interview, and with each question, the answers he gave
You should never be the PR for your game if you're one of the you know what it's called, like the CEOs or one of the developers. You should never do that. At least not to the degree this guy did. That was a massive, massive mistake on his part. Why are game devs also so attractive? Have you seen my boy, Gabe Newell? You think he's attractive? I'm kidding. I'm sure he's a very lovable person and great dad and great husband and everything. Guy's actually such a sweetheart though. He just got up in Sony's hype. Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Thank you for the follow also, Matt. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing, Matt?
gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
You could encounter other players.
Can you grief other players?
A little bit.
They're literally building your
Oops.
own like massively multiplayer world that's procedurally generated.
Sand planets like in June, rivers, walking sentinels, hacking. So sophisticated that light diffracts through the atoms, they had to redevelop the whole periodic table to make it work.
What?
Even Elon Musk was hyped for it.
Really? Holy.
2 years go by. It's early 2016, and that hype train is really moving now. Perhaps one of the biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors. Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well. The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work. So much hype there is that... Uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party. He announces a delay.
Jason Schreier. Terrifying.
From June 2016 to August.
Oh my god.
Liar, the incensed audience cries. Please be quiet, they said. And death threats too. But he was 100% right. A week later, the delay is officially announced.
Boom.
Sorry lads, we need more polish, said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way. Although he didn't
Release game when you're dead. Kind regards. Frowny face. That's me, man. Release game or else I fart
take
on
them as
you.
seriously or go to the police. Yet.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
But the impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, fine, we will wait. But we expect a level of polish no man has ever seen.
Do it. Pee yourself first.
Speaking of waiting, Shadow Man here,
Have you
No,
heard of
not Shadow Legends! I'm skipping Shadow Legends. If it was any other ad, I would play it.
If you haven't played in the champion.
I am not promoting. I know his ads are really funny, but I just hate Raid Shadow Legends. I'm sorry.
So let's talk about the team in charge of all that polishing. It's small. Tiny. In fact, I haven't been able to find a smaller team behind a AAA release.
That is true. They had a tiny fucking team. They did.
All of these expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people, expanding to a team of 15 by the end of production.
That's what she said? Oh god. True.
July.
True.
It's just a couple of weeks until the release date.
Oh my
Whatever
god.
the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out. The Hello Games team celebrates with this iconic image.
The quintessential soy face.
They're exhausted. Look at what video game production does to a man.
That is ouch.
Nonetheless, they continue, working on the day 1 patch, and... Uh-oh. Sean, if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay?
Oh no, $1,200. Uh-oh.
That's right. It's a leak.
Who
Someone broke
leaked
the
it?
embargo and is selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in.
The Stinky Fox art, $1,200.
$1,500 US. Sold to some guy with the Reddit handle Damien. He gets his hands on it and starts uploading footage to YouTube and Dailymotion. What the frick? Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a
Sony.
lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like, there are things I like, but at the end of the day, when I say to myself, what is this game supposed to be? This, what I'm looking at right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
He noted a few problems, but said he was optimistic that they would be ironed out with the day 1 patch.
Okay, for sure. Little patch, little
Sean?
fix it, everything.
It's another leak. Some retailers broke the official release date. Journalists too. And they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the fuck? Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's Censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier this week about No Man's Sky leaks
Sony!
has been hit with a copyright strike on YouTube.
They went bumbling around from platform to platform, just taking down any video that even talked about the leak
Fucking love
or showed the
Sony.
trailer footage. But it was too late. The footage had people talking more skeptically about the game. Especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much. And the whole thing was about to
Kabam! It's happening.
Oh no. It's August. Everyone's here. We've all bought the game and we're fucking hyped. Here we go, lads. Oh dear lord, it
Oh
isn't finished.
jeez.
Hello, Sean. It is me, the auditor of games. I used to work at an astronomy lab. Don't worry about that. It seems like
Uh-oh,
you've
here
made a
comes
lot
the
of promises.
inspector. The cock
Promises that,
inspector!
you have not...
Sean, is your cock
Let's
big
go
enough
through
for
the
No Man's
checklist.
Sky?
Have you got any large-scale joinable space battles?
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets?
No. No.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them...
No.
Those sand planets from June look
Mine
nice.
is
Think I
good,
might-
good.
Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Animals interact with each other in the environment?
No.
Packs of walking sentinels,
I
Sean.
love the audio. Mine's too big for the inspector. Ooh, Pawoli. Jeez.
I'm literally crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
Proof. I have the proof.
No.
Factions with different attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
No.
Day-night cycles determined by the orbit of the sun.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
And
land on an asteroid, radio chat, and name your ship, hacking, portals, all that stuff about the elements, sure.
When
This
did they
is not
start
good.
game development? Was it like 2014 and then the game was supposed to come out in 2016? Like, that is just way, way, way too soon for a game. Especially for a game like that, and then on top of that with only 6 people. Again, kind of their fault for signing with Sony. Considering it takes like 10 years for indie devs usually. Dude, Larian Studios took Baldur's Gate 3. I think it took them like 8 or 10 years, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think it was like 8 or 10.
Very not good. And ironically,
And
the
they're
only
not even
bugs
indie, they're double A.
This game doesn't have other butterflies in the demo.
Buried building.
Yeah, they got
aggressive
lured in,
emojis,
yeah.
Tractor beam malfunctions, animal husbandry.
With like 400 people. Yeah, but it's still not a AAA studio. 400 people, AAA studio? Yeah, okay, I would say they should have to do it faster, like D4, quote unquote. Haha, finished game. But I feel like with Larian, they are a double A. They're not owned by Microsoft. It took them 10 years with 400. Yeah! And I would say it's even more expensive than this. They were promising something on the long lines of
Oil
this.
slick world.
In terms of
raining grass,
effort.
Retarded
Blame
animals
Sony.
doing retarded things. Ship's interiors disappear. First person mode as a gun. That's not
As
how
a
flying
gun?
works. That's my
Uh-oh.
only means of transportation.
This is a
leaving
jam.
the planet. Take off. Really take off. Holes in the map. Holes in my graphics card. Whole lot of nothing from
Clipping!
down here. Textures bugging out. Animals bugging out. Animals breakdancing. Look at these.
Breakdancing
Yeah.
animals.
Hello? And a couple of unrequested ejector seats.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I get the picture. No, wait. Poor graphics rendering. Some can't even start the game. Frame rate issues, constant crashes. Major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines. Even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering.
Yo, 1080 Ti. Holy moly, what a throwback.
Tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a crash. Playing the game? That's a
Yeah,
crash.
Summit!
Changing options in the game without restarting? You'll get this. And if you got the pre-order version with the bonus spaceship, you might have a problem. Your special ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions. And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
That's why I give my kids
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, pre-order punishment. That's what you get for paying money.
Ah, my ship's in bits! Okay,
Love this man's editing. It takes
Just
hours.
a
Love
quick
this
note
guy.
about how high expectations were for this game, and just how many people bought it on release, myself included. Over 750,000 purchases on Steam at launch. It's the single
What? That's obscene. Let me see that again.
1 million purchases on Steam at
Wow. And that's just on Steam. That is... Like, look at all these freaking AAAs. Except for Stardew. I think Rocket League. I'm not sure. But most of these are AAAs.
at launch. It's the single best-selling game on the PlayStation Store that month.
Whoa.
And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends... Well,
Nope.
You're in for a surprise.
You
This
can't
one
play
is a literal game changer.
Is it even possible to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky? The answer is absolutely yes, it's possible.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Oh no.
But then just before the release, Sean posted this cryptic tweet.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not a multiplayer game. Please don't go in looking for that experience.
Oh, what? So there's no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts that.
Because the chances of two players ever crossing.
I think there's a video out there somewhere, he might have clipped it into it, but a guy went and tried to find the same spot that his friend was standing on, and he literally couldn't find it.
Paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero.
Oh, so it is multiplayer.
It's in
Just
this
have to
video?
overcome
Okay,
this
good.
finding each
Yeah.
other hurdle.
It's a classic.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yep.
Yeah! Right?
Yes!
No, it's more confusing than that. Because the box doesn't mention online play, just network features. And the collector's edition had its online play icon stickered over. So customers are going, which one is it, Sean?
The Wrath of the Lich King treatment. They did the same thing when Wrath of the Lich King came out. They pasted over a certain feature that they cut out because they didn't have time to ship it. You're not allowed to have that. We didn't have time to finish it.
Just tell us if it has multiplayer.
The
or it
dancing
doesn't
feature,
have
a lot of
multiplayer.
stuff. The Wintergrass flying, and I think the dance studio that they promised, and they just like couldn't fit it in.
Sean wouldn't give any answers.
Stuff like that.
But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable,
Chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size and vulnerability.
on the very first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another, and they met up on the same planet in a live stream.
Oh dear. Yep, here it comes.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now.
Yep. Vor 57
That's the
4,
same
yep.
spot, and they can't see each other.
I'm alone!
No!
That settles it. It's not
The
multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer because it's just not fucking multiplayer. And this led to quite a
Hey!
revolt. What did Sean have to say about all this?
So
I'm sorry,
amazing.
Sean.
2 people found each other on the first day.
Snooze boom.
That
Thank you,
has
thank you.
blown my mind.
So why can't we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you playing.
Yeah, Sean, but why?
Truly amazing. My mind is blown.
Uh-oh.
So what's the game actually like then?
Is it any good?
Poor Sean, man.
That is a difficult thing to say.
Well, it certainly is stylish and pretty,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's
God,
much to find.
2017, 16 was
In
so
fact,
long ago.
the game boils down
that
to a
they
very
said.
simple loop. Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet.
Cheeky
Hold down the
Seraphine
trigger,
boy,
deal
thank
with
you
a
for the
full inventory,
follow,
get
man.
an
I think you
upgrade,
followed me
leave the
yesterday, I'm
planet,
pretty
go
sure.
to another planet. Hold down the trigger
For the
deal
Age
with
of
a full
Rona,
inventory,
yeah,
leave
Pepe
the planet,
Olge.
go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. That's it. $60, ladies and gentlemen.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support, refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets instead of the mining beam, refuel your launch thrusters. It's busy work that makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
How dare you?
Chores are boring.
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent
dang.
players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by...
Is that worse than New World? I think New World or Lost Ark was worse. Maybe. I think D4 would compete with that? No, because there's a lot of people streaming it, to be fair. 200k to 2,000? That's really egregious. That's really bad. I don't think Steam charts for New World were that bad. Or even Lost Ark. Yeah, it was not that bad. No, it was not that bad. In comparison? Wait, this is 1 year. Wait. No, it's still not that bad. Comparatively speaking, 600,000 lost compared to like literally all, like if you just go by numbers purely, that's egregious. How bad was D4? Well, we can't know the numbers, but the fact that people were streaming it, I would say, is a bit of a better indicator than this.
by September and fewer than 1,000 by October.
And what followed that was perhaps the biggest pylon in gaming history.
A lot of people stream because of drops? I mean, True. That is true. However, they still maintained 80 to 60,000 streamers even after drops. And then it fell off really, really hard. But I know for a fact because I watched, because I have to stream. I watched it was 80 to 60,000 and then it fell off gradually by like week 3 or 4. So it's still a little bit better than No Man's Sky, but
reviewers on YouTube panned
not
the
much.
game.
Oh, I love him! Angry Joe! I love his review of this.
You done fucked it up!
I had no hype, and I can tell you that even without that
Angry
disappointment,
Poo Poo Man.
this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Mourinho yet?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it? Fuck this shit.
Reviewing the video almost as hard.
Devastating realization that most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening.
No!
And a lot of it really funny and creative. Crobycat made a video that captured the sentiment of that day. And if you haven't seen it
Wait,
yet,
is it Crobecat or Crobecat? Because I've been saying Crobecat.
out.
So people are furious. The game is boring, and soon people discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial.
Oh, yo, it's DSP!
So they started complaining about it like they were grinding for an achievement.
This sucks.
Fucking Minecraft in space!
Many people made
Minecraft
compilations
in
of all the
space!
unfulfilled promises.
Minecraft is better,
One
though.
guy on the subreddit compiled a big list of all the missing features. Front page. Got a defense for No Man's Sky? Enjoy your downvote. In fact, the entire No Man's Sky
Blast his head
subreddit was in
off.
such disarray it had to be locked.
So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative.
Overwatch? Where's the Overwatch reviews? Hold on. I know I can't bring it up on screen right now on mine. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I know you guys can't see it because I can't stream my Steam for whatever reason. Let's have a look. Overwatch 2. $131,000 reviews. Oh. That's still a lot for a game like that. 69,000? That's a lot. That's a
Negative
lot.
From more than 70,000 reviews.
Yeah.
The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news publications. And the
Mhm.
price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the floor.
Yikes.
Please, no more. But the beatings had only just
No,
begun. The
poor
demo planet was
Sean!
data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
I've just got to pick one of these at random. If anything horrible goes wrong, just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something like that, even though I think it looks quite nice in places.
People watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No.
Bad Murray.
I could have ended the demo.
That is a nasty lie.
You know, pre-scripted crazy thing that would happen. You know what I mean? The normal thing of like, and then a monster emerges from behind the mountains. You know.
Stop! It is egregious
People see what's
that
going
they
on with
lied
the
like
game and
that.
feel lied to. This is false advertising, they say, and angry customers start scoping out a lawsuit. On September 28th, the ASA busts through the door and goes, "Yep, too many complaints. We're going to investigate." But then soon after, the ASA cleared them of any legal wrongdoing. Technically, the only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page, and what's on the Steam page. So it's technically not false advertising.
That is so funny. If it's not on the store page and it's not on the box, you can lie. So all those interviews don't count. Those interviews he promised don't count. It's crazy.
But of course, technically not illegal doesn't mean much.
Sorry,
to an angry audience.
flashbang,
October
flashbang.
28th, Hello Games Twitter is hacked. The hacker posts, "No Man's Sky was a mistake,"
and is shitting on the game in the replies. Turns out Sean didn't use two-factor authentication on his LinkedIn, and that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their
Wait, what does this say? I have contacted you because the sounds from Hello Games has been no more than professional. Hope everyone affected understands. Sean.
To journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend. They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran.
Nah, man.
This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did
Bomb
have to take
threats!
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more
Oh,
like
yeah, they did.
gentle push under a minivan when Sony President Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's Sky. The press took the ball with that one and ran.
I just don't know what Sony did. They did absolutely fuck all. That's what hurts the most, is that they signed a contract, right? But it didn't help them at all and then threw them under the bus. But again, you did sign a contract with Sony. That's on you.
But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards. But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games were so downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win that they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
I can't blame it. Probably got gaslit like crazy into signing. I would love to be a fly on the wall watching this go down, because it would make me understand how people get pressured into situations like that.
And the Innovation Award goes to...
And see how I can avoid things like that happening to
No
me.
Man's Sky.
Learn from it. Oh, brother, this guy
Lovely
stinks!
trophy going once.
Whoops.
I'm going to accept this on behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them.
Please keep crying to a minimum. Wait, what was that?
By this point,
Please keep crying in the showers to a minimum, TY.
you've got
Aww.
to feel just a little bit sorry for them. And then what followed that was the final straw for many. No particular incident, but a lack of incidents. Silence. Over 3 months of not a damn word from No Man's Sky.
Damn. 3 months.
Where are they?
That's like 10
Where
billion
is my
years in
refund?
gamer time.
Where is Murray? Shouted into the void. The game was over. And it was dead.
Dedge. Dedge. Yeah, bring me some toast too. Rewind!
The year is 2000 AD.
What?
Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the big wide world. He rises up the ranks at a number of studios,
Okay.
eventually working as a technical lead for Black and technical director for Burnout 3.
Okay. Respectable.
When Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio, Hello Games.
Okay.
This was a risky venture.
So we've
Real
done
gamer.
this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title,
Alright.
Joe Danger.
Joe Danger.
They work on
Solid
this
game.
day and night.
In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place, but they'd really be working at 11 PM on a Sunday night. But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional
Joe
risk.
Danger, Joe Mama.
They had
Same thing.
no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop,
Okay.
living off savings. And to keep
That's
the project
rough,
running,
man.
Sean even sold his house.
So we made a really tough and probably at the time seemed really foolish decision.
Yeah, that is really foolish.
It's kind of almost embarrassing for me to talk about. I sold my house and just basically went all in and funded what we were doing, which is not something I would recommend anyone else do.
But by June 8th,
For
2000...
for any business, by the way, restaurants, like I don't know, like anything involving that kind of thing, a man of commitment. It has.
2010, they had done it. The game was good. And they could breathe a sigh of relief because on the very first day it hit the PlayStation Store, they made their money back. 2
Yay!
years
Good
later,
for him.
Joe Danger 2 was released. It was not the commercial success they had hoped for, and they didn't want to just keep pumping out sequels. That was a trap big players in the industry had fallen into. In his spare time, Sean started working on a prototype for a procedurally generated game. They took another gamble and scrambled to get a trailer out in time to present at VGX 2013.
No
So the
Man's
project
Sky.
is official now, and the pressure is on. Around this time, Sean is also looking to start a family. Concurrent to all this development, he would go on to have 3 kids. So the weight of responsibility is really
That's a
piling on.
lot.
But their hard work will pay off, as they're finally going to have a chance for some R&R around Christmas.
Hello, Calvin.
They woke up to find their homes flooded, their cars submerged, and their plans for Christmas Day very much ruined.
That
Bad
sucks,
news.
man.
Rain and flooding in the south of England, right around
Lots
the
of
Hello
rain.
Games office. They are completely inundated and they return from their holidays to find laptops floating around at waist height. But
I remember
some
this,
good
yeah.
news, they hadn't lost any data, so they pull together.
Wow, that's
Soldier on.
crazy, Calvin.
Development continues. So there they are, working in a damp office, and then ding dong. Ooh, who's at the door? It's Danish mathematician Dr. Johan Gerlis. He's seen
How is this relevant? What the fuck? Why is a mathematician knocking on a game studio
the
door?
game, and he says, "They are using my super formula," in perfect English, and there is a potential for a lawsuit. Sean says they didn't, and he can prove it. So they have a meeting, and the claim is eventually dropped. Lawsuit
Oh.
evaded.
Okay,
so
good.
back to work, guys. Ding dong. It's Sky Television. They've seen the game.
You are infringing on our Sky trademark.
They said
What?
in perfect text-to-speech. They had succeeded in getting Microsoft
Cringe.
to change SkyDrive to OneDrive, and they were about to give gamers No Man's One
No
under threat
Man's One.
of lawsuit. But this
Fucking
lawsuit
Sky,
didn't just
man.
go away. The threat loomed over them for the next 3 years.
That is so
right up
fucking
until
stupid.
the month before release. So they get back to work and ding dong. It's Sony with some good news for once.
Ah, hello,
We like your
Sony.
game, kid. We want to feature it front and center and make you a big star. This could mean millions of dollars in additional revenue. They said,
That doesn't matter. You don't have anything. That's what fucking gets me. They said we want to put your shit front and center, but it's like they didn't give them any money, did they? 'Cause it feels like they didn't.
yeah. But along with it, a lot of press for this game would need to be done. Being a small team, they didn't have anyone for PR. They had their designers, they had their developers, and that was about it. So it's up to Murray.
It's up to him. Okay.
Sean's in his early 30s now. Not super young, but relatively young, and inexperienced for this type of media circuit.
Yeah, it's not his
This deal with
fault.
Sony put extra pressure on them. It set deadlines.
That's what Sony provides, clout. I expected this to go down like this because I haven't seen this video in a while, but from what I thought you guys told me is that Sony gave them money to help them develop the game or in some capacity. You know? Like, how does that work? Where you have an under-delivered product, like it is not finished, it is not even close to finished. It is just like some banked together trailer. I'm assuming money was also provided. Well, in this video, it is. Holy shit, Lena! Thank you for the freaking sub. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Snus. That means Lena likes you, by the way. I'm kidding. She's just very kind. Having Sony's name attached to gives it a AAA shine even when the game itself was indie, done by a very small team. Yeah, but like, they're not providing anything. Money and advertising usually for publishing. Yeah, but you in good conscience, it's like me saying, hey, I have a bakery and here is a video of me baking and doing stuff and look at how pretty this cake is, but they don't even taste the cake. And then the person who is advertising, like Sony, comes in and says, hey, I want to give you a boost in your visibility and give everyone some hype. But they don't actually help me do anything. Good night, Earl. Thank you for taking care of chat. I really appreciate it. I would taste your cake? Shut the fuck up, Bolter! You nasty motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like a chocolate cake. Not that kind of chocolate cake! Sicko. How do you think they got on E3? You're missing the point! Why would you agree to go to them? Why would you agree to Sony? Why couldn't you, in good faith and good conscience, take that kind of, I guess, like, expectation? If they agreed and said, hey, we're gonna give you fucking 500 people and, like, 500 people to work on your game and then $800 billion and make the game that we see here, and then we're gonna show you on E3 and bang, you know? I understand that kind of thought process, but that is also on him or on them for agreeing to Sony. Sony threw them under the bus. Who gives a fuck? Yes, I understand that's a really scummy thing to do, but at the same time, they have this expectation that they already knew about. That's what blows my mind. They offered them $5 and a cookie? No, they didn't offer them $5 and a cookie. They offered them E3 in the spotlight. According to what I can find, Sean says that Sony offered to provide them money, but Hello Games only wanted their commitment to help with marketing. Okay, well then they signed a contract that they didn't read, because Sony probably, very likely said, hey, we want this game finished in 2 or 3 years, and they know they can't finish it. Thank you for the follow, Sleepy Scully. I mean, if Twitch came to you and so will put you on the front page, do you not take it? I do, but I'm selling an entertainment product. If people give me the exposure for 5,000 viewers, I'm still only going to retain 200 people because I am not as entertaining as I could possibly be, woo. That is my argument. I am not as entertaining as, I don't know, Shy Lily. I am not as entertaining as Cinder. I can't cosplay. I am not a cosplayer. I can't do, like, these hands-on, like, hand cams of me making cosplaying stuff. You are more entertaining for me. I know, but I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, I am not the product of being able to retain... not hand cosplay, like making cosplay on stream with a hand cam. That's what Cinder does, is what I was trying to throw out there. I am not as entertaining as... fuck, I don't know. Yes, you can't believe in yourself, but I'm trying to put it into perspective of, like, putting me on the front page, I would only be able to retain a fraction of a viewership because I do not have the production quality, I do not have the entertainment factor, I do not have the means of being as quote-unquote talented or have a staff behind me as the people who have the spotlight on them. I know people say in meme and stuff like, oh wow, crazy, you know, okay, let me put this into words. Hey, it's crazy you have 86 people watching you and stuff, but like, I could be so much better. I can be better, but for me to get on the front page, I would still only get so many viewer retention, like, in comparison to what I could be potentially in a few years. Yeah, I'm just being very self-critical. Like me, I would not fucking take that deal from Sony if it meant pushing myself out in a game in 3 years that I know won't be finished. Alana needs a staff behind her? I mean, I'm just saying, like, people who have these kind of production teams and, like, even Asmongold, he still has, like, people behind him that, like, do a lot of work for him behind the scenes. Maybe they thought the game would be finished in 3 years. I mean, logistically, like, you have an infinite possibility kind of simulation game. It's not going to be done in 3 years. That's that's virtually impossible, especially with your 6 boys behind you. 3 years is a long time away. It doesn't seem impossible in day one. Yeah, but the oversight is that you think that 3 years isn't a long time in video game. What is it called? In video game time. 3 years is nothing. It took them 10 years to make Baldur's Gate 3 with 400 people. Like, what was it? World of Warcraft started production in 1997 or 1998, and it got finished in 2004, and even then it was not finished in 2004. It was very, very rushed towards the end. And that is obvious, because they were not prepared for the hype and the glory and the wonderfulness of the support of the community that they brought about with their wonderful game, you know? And that was what, that's like 8 years? 7? That's a lot of time. 3 years, that is an oversight on their part. Lana, give me some wild lore. I'm, you know, it's just what it is. But they're also saying Baldur's Gate 3 has 10,000 variations for endings and millions of lines of dialogue and 174 hours of cinematics. Yes, exactly. Like, 400 people working on Baldur's Gate over 10 years or whatever, compared to 6 people working on it for 3. Yeah, that is... They bit off more than they can chew, and they have to sit up. They have to sleep in that bed, you know?
It's not that it's Sony's fault.
Oh, and Golem! Fuck! Oh, that's a horrible game. I'm not even gonna go on that.
But they're locked in now with much less flexibility.
Ooh.
So when May rolls around, and they have no option but to delay, even if they wanted to ask for an extra 6 to 12 months of development, which they really need,
which they really need,
too much to ask for. So they extend from late June to August. Only 6 weeks. From
That's
here,
insane.
You can predict what's going to happen to multiplayer and a bunch of other promised features. So here's how the hype happened. Scope of game. Time. And here's the line which shows the reality of development. Progress is steady and ends in August 2016. Now here's the line of player expectations.
Yeah, it's gonna go BAM!
Start out here and follow along the purple. But the overhyping trailer comes out and puts us way up here. In this trailer, it features a bunch of things that Hello Games thinks they're capable of having in the game by 2016. Yep. That's the first big mistake. Then it's announced for PlayStation, and it costs $60, and there's a collector's edition.
Mixu?
Even
Hi! Welcome, Raiders! Hello, how are you? How are you doing? How was your stream? $60? Yeah, it was $60. Because it had the Sony label on it, that's why. Mixu? Hello? We watch a lot of shit on video games right now, Raiders? Yeah. Is it still $60 nowadays? I don't know. Let's look. No Man's Sky. It is still $60.
Sometimes life is cock and ball torture. Without the cock and balls.
It was alright. I'm glad. Could be worse. Could be bad. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Probably on sale every other week or so. Nah, I think it doesn't go on sale if it's still $60. Mick was busy pretending to be a box. Oh, hell yeah. Love that. Well, we are here shitting on video games. That should have been great, and we're destined for greatness.
All the way up here. And I think this is the main problem, because price tags set expectations. For a $60 game, this is seriously barren and disappointing. Now, if they had put it out for $20 as an indie game or an alpha, no problem. But when they gave it the AAA treatment,
people rightfully aligned their expectations with other games in that category. That is the main reason customers' expectations were so skewed. Then Murray went to interviews, exacerbating the problem. Every time he mentioned a feature in the game, even in passing, fans set their expectations to...
That's what I'm saying. It was all a problem. If this wouldn't be an issue if it was an indie game that just stayed as an indie game and then eventually released in, say, like, I don't know, 2018, maybe even 2019. It would have been a great game. People would have praised it and loved it. But the fact that they took the Sony deal and all this PR heightened the expectation, and then they had to basically backpedal on it, makes it so much worse. It ruined their reputation. I'm sure that they had good intentions, they're gamers, they're cool, they're nice people, but they fucked it.
AAA heights for that feature. Now, some people think the interviews are the main problem. In my humble opinion, not so much. Most people never saw these interviews. It's not that rickety 12-foot ladder Sean's standing on that's the main problem. It's the 900...
I'm curious if they could have done that, though. Like, do they have the cash to go without releasing a game for that long? There are Kickstarters. There's other multitude of ways of doing it nowadays. And even back then, there are a dozen games that got crowdfunded. Yeah. Taking the fall through Sony was not the play. Was Kickstarter a big thing back then? Yeah, it was. It was. There's a lot of products and games that were funded through Kickstarter and stuff like that. All you had to do was produce something that was interesting. And people would just start talking about it. Yeah, Kickstarter's been around since like 2014, 2013. But for the scale No Man's Sky, like Kickstarter stuff doesn't even halfway fund big games. Yes, it does. Pillars of Eternity. Frosthaven, I remember that. Broken Age was a good game. Like, there are a lot of games that were successfully funded and products like that. Like, granted, a lot of them are just like little tiny little indie games, so indie games just need some love and attention. I heard of plenty of nice things. You just have to make it look good. I mean, all the scams, Kickstarter's got a lot of money. Yes, there are scams. Like, don't get me wrong, and I don't think that the intention of No Man's Sky was scamming at all. I think they had very good intentions. Mick, thank you. I hope you have a great sleep, and thank you for the stream. Mighty number 9, oh.
Foot building he's perched it on in the first place. So the obvious solution here would be an official statement. Hey guys, look, don't expect a 10 out of 10. Expect more of a 5 out of 10.
Galaxy,
no,
thank
the
you.
publisher just sank an enormous investment of marketing and opportunity into the game.
What's wrong with you?
And that would be a huge middle finger to them. The publisher isn't going to make you hype the shit out of your game, but you can't talk it down either.
Yes.
So, he's kind of stuck up there. In some ways, during the interview, he tries to temper expectations, but it's limited.
Can you build a space station? No.
Like when he said the multiplayer thing. But you can't fund a game the size of No Man's Sky on Kickstarter is my point. You can make Undertale or little top-down games. That's why there are a billion failed Kickstarter MMOs. I need to think. There was a game. Wasn't fucking Ashes of Creation on Kickstarter or something? Oh, that's crazy. Ashes of Creation was on Kickstarter. Isn't that like a really big game? $3.2 million helped this project bring it to life? Yeah. Because they saw people... Yes, because they saw people really wanted an MMO that wasn't dog shit. There are scams, don't get me wrong, but there is a possibility to get funded by a crowd that sees the love that you put into a game. I don't think it's impossible. There are billions of failed Kickstarters. I absolutely agree. I really do. I think that a lot of them are scams. A lot of them are stupid. Like, what was that? Crowfall. Crowfall was a terrible failed MMO thing. What is the status on Ashes anyway? Well, they do developer updates every month or so. They talk to their community all the time. 3 million? Yeah, 3.2 million. And this was in 2017. I'm sure there's more. And also the CEO of Ashes of Creation funded his own, he put in a massive chunk of change from his own wallet into the game. Like, I just think that's the fucking biggest cope. Like, we'll see. We will see if Ashes of Creation is a scam. I hope it's not, because I thought it looked really cool, and it has been looking cool for the last 6 years. But, like, as I say, at least there is the tempered expectations that it has been in the oven for 6 fucking years. I think 9 out of 10 times the devs don't go into scam people, but just happens, like Ant Simulator, when one backed are ruined for everyone. Yes, of course, of course. AAA games go over 100 million in budget? Yeah, of course. I don't know how much it has now in total. I would have to check. Is there a way I can check Ashes of Creation fund? Because that was in 2017, where it was 3.2 million. I don't know how much additional money they've gained since then, so I would say it's hard to say. But again, if they ran with the money, like, I haven't donated any of it, but it's still cooking. And good! I don't want to fucking see it in the next, like, year saying, like, we're done. We're finished. We're releasing it tomorrow. I want it to be done when it's done. Apparently, they recently ended pre-orders for the game, so people speculating Alpha 2 coming. 3.2 million for an MMO? You didn't let me finish. 3.2 million since 2017. I don't know how much more money has gone into it. It's been 6 years. I would have to find, like, a bunch of, like, articles on it. Wasn't PoE done through Kickstarter or something? I think so. Let's have a gander. Path of Exile, Kickstarter, crowdfunding. Oh, crazy. Slowly, Grinding Gear sold Path of Exiles. Wilson said fans pledged 320,000 in April alone. Huh, $1.2 million in crowdfunding for Path of Exile. Huh, so maybe there are good games that came from crowdfunding. And it is possible. Like, granted, it is a top-down freaking ARPG. Dungeon crawler. But still, it's something. I think I remember even donating like $10 to that. Granted, it was in 2012 or something, and I was poor. I was a kid. I think they misunderstood me earlier. I was only making a joke about scams. No, but they're real, though. They are real. Kickstarter scams are very, very real. JRPG? No, I said ARPG. Where's my freaking page? There we go.
But let's not gloss over the interviews. Sean is a technical guy. He's a developer. He's also the introvert.
Not a PR. He's not a
the big
PR
lights and the
person.
stuff on camera does not come naturally to him.
Is it super nerve-wracking to talk on stage? At
Yes!
Yes.
Satsumi! Thank you, Satsumi. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes.
Going on stage at E3, like, the hardest thing I've ever done. That's
yeah,
something
I imagine that's really hard.
I would have had in a nightmare before, you know? What I mean?
Again, this is like me going on front stage at TwitchCon or something and be like, hey guys, I'm Alana. Like, I would shit myself. I totally feel for this guy. But again, I probably wouldn't sign it to Twitch. I would not. I'm too scared. The exposure, the judgment, the expectations. Granted, I'm not, like, having people pay for a product, so that's at least a little bit better. If you did imagine the sub gain, I'm not in it for the money, though. Like, I'm in it for, like, having fun, building a community, and sustaining myself enough that I can not have to work a corpo job. That's my biggest goal, really. If I made like enough to not quit my job, that would be amazing. I'm not aiming to be like a millibillionaire. This is Jeff Bezos. You're the lead content creator to represent TwitchCon 2024. No! It's terrifying. Guys, I was up on Fillian's freaking show and I choked. She meant to make money back for that model. I did not take a loan to freaking get this model, don't worry.
Literally the hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Still.
Yes,
he
I was on
stepped
the
up and
Fillion
took
talent show
interviews
and I
for his game
choked.
From 2013 to 2016. And the main thing people wanted to hear about were the features.
Can you have more than
So every planet will be wormholes.
At what point do you get points or anything?
From these interviews, people took Sean to be a liar, a Peter Molyneux or a chess club member out to sell his game at whatever reputational cost.
No.
But I think the truth is more complicated than that. Sean and the team are indie developers working on a new IP. Their project...
You didn't do bad? I didn't do bad, but I didn't do great. Which is why I have to emphasize, if I got put on the front page of Twitch, people would not find me that as entertaining as something that I could be potentially in a year. I need time to cook. Let me cook. I am learning.
Project and plans are constantly in flux. They have no idea how large chunks of the game are going to look, especially
I'll do
not a couple
better,
of
of
years out
course.
from release. And crucially, Sean doesn't understand that something mentioned in 2013, even said in passing, is going to be seen as a promise in the year 2016, even if by then you've decided to cut it from the game. For example,
I never said Kickstarter couldn't make good games. Undertale is my favorite game of all time. Yes. It's the issue of the scale of the game he wanted to make. Kickstarter couldn't possibly cover. Yeah, but Ashes of Creation exists. Path of Exile exists. Path of Exile is insanely big. It is a big game. Granted, it is not to the universal size of, quote-unquote, a infinitely simulating game, you know? I know what you're saying. But at the same time, he could have tapered expectations. Tapered them, not done, given these features in interviews. Ashes of Creation doesn't exist yet. True, granted. But they have shown and have done it for years now. It was a smaller release and they made money over time and could expand this as live service. Yeah. And this was not live service. This is a freaking single player game. They even did it at the end. They were like, yeah, we're gonna lie about it too. Hello, Doomslayer. Thank you for the follow. PoE was about as bad as NMS on release. What's NMS? PoE is super tiny. Super, super tiny. I think if I remember correctly, NMS, fucking No Man's Sky. Yes, of course. But PoE is also a different type of game. I can't exactly parallel the two, and I can't parallel Ashes of Creation, because Ashes of Creation is an MMO. The expectation is even higher than that of No Man's Sky. But No Man's Sky is, quote-unquote, infinite possibilities of planets on top of multiplayer, and then they ended up backtracking it because they just couldn't do it. Within 3 years! It's just such a bad series of events, I think, personally.
Orbiting around the sun.
Today has turned it out because the planet has actually rotated on its axis.
Well, infinite as in, like, it's physically impossible for you to play all the possibilities that they promised, but then it turns out it was finite.
Originally was in the game, but it caused the player too much confusion. It kept being reported as a bug in the beta, as people left the planet and then returned to find everything different.
Freak you, Hayes!
But, nonetheless, into the lying compilation it goes.
Mm.
So while they're still essentially formulating the game, the media all want a piece of Sean and to report on features first. Conversely, Sean thinks the reporters might help him to temper down things by emphasizing that Hello Games is an indie studio. But that is not...
That is not how journalism is done. That is not their fault. Again, I will give them the benefit of the doubt and also the leniency that it is not their fucking fault. They got fucked over in so many ways. It's very sad.
Not how journalism
The
is
sun
done.
is a bug.
This is how journalism is done.
Procedurally generated. Yeah.
Sort of. Full customization confirmed in No Man's Sky.
No! Fucking Sean got thrown in there.
Able to create atmospheric particles that would diffract light at just the right wavelength.
Told you. The press kind of operates downstream from the community because things are click-driven as to what stories you get served and things like that. But a rumor would surface from Reddit straight to the front page.
There's all this hype, and the project has increased in scope dramatically and keeps increasing as the months go by until a point. They are close to the deadline and have to delay.
Mama.
And the reality of what they can achieve in the little time remaining is staring them in the face.
7 people,
They
man.
know they're not going to be
7
putting out a finished
people.
game. They're worried. There's nothing more they can do. And the fear that they will disappoint the audience is growing on Sean and the team.
I worry about, like, disappointing people.
Upon release, all of these clips are seen
That
as
hurts,
proof that Sean
man.
is a liar. And what doesn't help is his body language. I mean, it's kind of the body language of someone who is lying. And this is why I mentioned he's an introvert. Remember, he's a technical lead. Actually, a really good one. But not a salesman. Cut him just a little bit of slack, because this is simply how he talks. Here are some innocuous questions, and he answers them honestly.
Lead producers on No Man's Sky?
Yeah, I guess I'm a developer on
Yeah, they were forced to promise it as a AAA. If I could like snap my fingers, I would have made like the contract with Sony, made them like have like a bunch of people help them make the game, and then also help with the PR with the portion of the game, you know, being published. Not portion of the game, but the game being published under Sony. That would have been great. You know what surprises me is despite not being a live service game, they keep releasing large content patches constantly. Now they do. But it's too late. The damage is done. I didn't know that No Man's Sky got better until like 4 or 5 years later, I think. Because I watched this video, when was it, 6 years ago now? No, 3 years ago. But at first, it was like, it just got tarnished. It isn't too late. It is, though. They picked up 1 million users when Game Pass was released. Is that true? 1 million users. No Man's Sky. Game Pass. No Man's Sky has added 1 million new players since Xbox Game Pass in June. This was 3 years ago. Yeah. I wish I had more numbers. Like, I wish I had the Steam charts for No Man's Sky, but like for the Xbox or for consoles. It felt like yesterday. I mean, I don't blame you. Stubborn people might keep hanging on to initial impressions, but they're the minority. They're not, though. The public perception. I think through hard work, they managed to redeem it fairly well. Yeah, I mean, the 1 million users for the Game Pass, that's actually really good. But again, me, as a gamer, as someone who likes this kind of stuff, like, I like the idea of No Man's Sky, even though I'm not super into sci-fi stuff. I feel like they could have been so much better. I'd be curious how to see their next game will sell. That would be the telling point. Oh yeah, I think if they don't make such a big fuck up with like signing, like, you know, such a AAA company and being pressured and having to have their senior director or whatever, like game lead design producer, be the front man and center when he's kind of an introvert and scared, just like everyone else who is a gamer. Have you played Satisfactory ever? No.
I suppose they
just published their next one themselves. I hope so.
No, I
I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about it.
Yes! I totally get it. I totally get it.
Even though, you know, you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously.
Same body language.
Poor guy, man.
And Jesus Christ, they have him up on stage.
Fantastic game. I suggested it for whatever free time you have in life. Let me look at it 1 second. Satisfactory game. 10 out of 10. 100,000 reviews. Came out a month ago. Well, 2 months ago now. First open world factory building game with a dash of exploration and combat. $30. 10 out of 10. Yo, it kind of looks like No Man's Sky. At least a little bit of the terrain and stuff. Obviously, it's like sci-fi, so it does look a little bit similar, but it is a factory game. This looks awesome, man. Oh, wait. This says it came out in 2020. Oh, it's an early access game. Ah, okay. This makes sense. That looks like a good game. Does a game like Factorio? I've never played Factorio, but maybe I will like it.
In front of
It's
cameras
still in
and
early
bright
access?
lights and on
That's
goddamn
fair.
Colbert Report. Try keeping your nerve on that.
It's
None-
pretty complete. Well, it's been out for 3 years, but it has 10 out of 10 reviews. Like, if it has 10 out of 10 reviews on Steam, I would assume it's probably pretty good.
Unless, free of that context, the clips have him cemented in the community as a liar.
It's not a liar, it's just the wrong place at the wrong time. I played
So the
Factorio
graph
so
plays
much.
out
Play
like the
it!
release. And that graph, it's actually a track. And that track is what the hype train runs on. So it comes barreling up the hill. Instead of neatly pulling into the station, it comes crashing right through the roof. The
The hype
disaster
train.
unfolds. They are absolutely shit on.
Aww.
So there were Sean and Hello Games, surrounded by the rubble of their former reputation.
Aww.
Punished Sean was at his lowest point, hated by the majority of the gaming community. But they were still alive, and they had made
Aw.
tens of millions of dollars. They were
Oh.
left with 2 choices. Take the money, start a new project, and be a pariah, a cautionary tale of the industry and hated by the gaming community forever. Or, pick themselves up, get back to work, and with potentially
That was the
no
correct thing to
profit motive,
do.
finish the game.
That is what is admirable about this in the end, is that they didn't just run off with the money. They went ahead and just said, we're going to finish it. We're going to do what we set out to do, or at least do some of it, and complete it. That is what a true gamer does. And that's how you could tell when he said, I just like make video games, where it was this part right here, where he said, I just like making video games. I don't really like talking. That is a true gamer right there. They have the money now, yes! But Sony should have offered them the money instead of the PR money. They should have given them money to develop the game instead of the fucking PR money. That's what I think the biggest mistake was.
It allowed me to do something that I've always done in difficult times, whether it was crappy bosses that I've done.
Kickstarters for nerds, scam customers, and fix it, the perfect money raiser. Oh, absolutely. Like, tons of those out there. No doubt about it. They also don't have a deadline? Yeah, exactly.
In school growing up, I got my head down, I sat in front of a computer, and I made games, which is what I enjoy.
Good!
Number 2.
Awesome.
So, here's the plan. The team is assigned to fixing bugs and the most obvious problems.
Yandere Simulator?
Sean
Monkus.
tells the team to stop reading all the overwhelmingly negative feedback on the game.
Good.
And he reroutes all of it to his personal devices. Email.
Oh, that is so wholesome. Oh, that is just the sweetest thing ever.
Forum posts, Google News alerts, player feedback, it's all going directly to him now. Then he starts breaking that down into data sets. People who haven't bought the game, people who have bought it and played it for 100 hours, people who have returned it, etc. Then he starts compiling...
Imagine how many posts he had of people telling him to off himself. True Giga Chatter there. He said, no, my employees will not suffer the mental unhealthiness of being death threatened and like told to off themselves. I'm gonna take it on. Yeah, that is Giga Chat energy. Kind of glad they didn't take help from Sony because they would have stomped all over their vision. We'd have another Fallout 76. Yes, I totally understand that, but I'm saying I wouldn't have taken the deal, period, from Sony because holy shit, Sony.
Turning those complaints into usable data, focusing on the people with the most sincere experience of the game. Then we start making a big laundry list of all the things that need adding and prioritizing. First thing to fix is that full inventory. Then community mod support. Then a third thing, etc., etc.
Nice.
This is going to take an enormous amount of work to pull off, and they're not going to make the same mistake twice. So they would need to sharply adjust their PR strategy. Anything they said right now, an admission of guilt,
I've made a severe,
would be met with criticism. Denial, it's not that bad, would be met with criticism. Corporate speak, well, we endeavored to make the best game we could and we are proud of what we have, would be met with criticism. Half of the problems have been caused by speaking too much.
Just don't say anything. That is correct. And they didn't say anything.
So they were going to do a complete 180.
Go
Instead of
dead
adding
silent.
more fuel to the fire, instead of accidentally promising fixes that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't
Alien
speak to the
anime girls are coming!
Instead of accidentally promising fixes that
Alien anime. Wait, does Satisfactory have alien anime girls? Damn it! I am not playing that game. Cannot handle it. No alien waifus?
that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't speak to the press again.
Female traits you're talking about, I'd say that's a generalization, but you've used...
They were going to speak to the community directly from now on.
Good.
So they told the audience they were working on it and went completely silent.
That is...
One day.
That is some learning.
No word. 2 days. A week. Have you heard from Hello Games? They just had this disastrous release. No,
not talking to the press.
I hope they're working on the game.
Fuck the press. Fuck journos. Fuck game journos.
Just ignore them. Just work. 3 weeks. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
WTF, it's locked.
A month. They took the fucking money and ran, didn't they?
Nope.
Didn't say anything. It's not going to help. 2 months. 3 months. By now, most people were convinced that the game was abandoned.
No.
They had made their money. It's all over. Then, after over 100 days of absolute silence, a tweet.
A tweet!
Foundation. The first big patch. It is me, Sean. No, go away, Sean. I am mad at you. It has been too long. But I bring you gifts. This accent sucks.
This accent
It brought
sucks.
base building, new game mode, farming, camps, and phrases, as well as a lot of bug fixes. You will have to try harder than that, Sean, to win my love back. It still fell well shy of the promised game. Too little, too late. So Sean left, returned to his team, and got back to work. A few more months went by, and then another tweet. Pathfinder.
Ooh. Peek out. Peek out. Do a little peek.
What the fuck? Oh, Sean. I bring you online base sharing, own multiple starships, starship specialization, multi-tool specialization and classes, permadeath modes, vehicles you can drive around in, and create racetracks for them too with time trials.
Ooh!
Look at this.
Holy shit.
Good. But I'm still mad, and there's still a ton promised that isn't in the game yet.
That's totally okay. And you wanna know what this Giga Chat did? He went back and brought some more!
So Sean went away once more.
Yeah!
A few more months went by. Knock, knock. Oh,
hello,
Sean,
bitch!
now. I bring you an overhaul to the storyline. New worlds, crashed freighters, space combat, terrain editing, portals, procedural mission system, interstellar trading, and joint exploration. By now, people were really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again.
It has
Anthem.
only been a year, by the way.
game.
So he only needed a little bit more time.
Exceeded what was promised.
It's a substantially better game now.
No Man's Sky is back, baby!
People saw this was an honest effort to fix the game, and the number of employees working on it
Mhm.
was growing from a studio
Good.
of 15 to 25.
Oh, 25 people! That's almost a full fucking tiny little restaurant seat.
Sean Murray and Hello Games social media also started becoming more active and engaging with the audience. The subreddit was flourishing once more. The price of the
Aw.
game secondhand on Amazon, eBay, and GameStop was going up. Then a few more months went
Oh,
by.
would you look at that?
Next, a really big patch.
Oh, 8 gigabytes. That's something to sneeze at. Aww. Yay.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not fuck that. Here's the full and proper multiplayer experience.
Yo, this looks good. What the fuck? There's little fucking guys zapping over there.
Ring
Shoo.
third-person mode, character customization, a galactic atlas on an external website for the community, vast overhauls to base building and crafting and resources, and it also brought the game to Xbox. In fact, with the release of Next in July 2018, No Man's Sky was the 6th top-selling console game for the month.
No,
It
no
climbed
more
its way
piss
back
color
into
glass.
Steam's top.
No more piss color grass. That's a W. Fuck! Where am I gonna piss now?
10. It reached nearly 100,000 concurrent players.
Yay!
It brought another $24 million across all platforms. Their Steam rating went from mixed to very positive.
Good.
People were getting back on board in a big way. But
Yo, oh, that's good. Look at that. Let me see that graph.
very positive.
Let me see that graph
People
again.
were getting back on board.
That's not very good. And then ka-chow!
Better creatures, weird underwater shit.
Okay.
Discoveries in bases and environments and equipment. And it keeps going. New
Yeah.
biomes, more diversity, archaeology,
Holy
more things
shit.
to discover.
Archaeology.
Sean, the gaming inspector personification of the gaming community, had literally patched things up and were making out on the couch.
Oh
Which
yeah,
was
that's
when he released
good.
his biggest of this video. Oh my god, dude! Free VR support. Not a whole other game
VR
to pay for,
support, that's
like some
huge.
titles. Overhauls to NPCs, tech trees, base building, streamlined multiplayer, ride animals around. All sorts of
Ride
stuff that was
animals
never
around.
promised in the first place. And they're still adding more stuff.
Someone
Yay!
at Valve, who was a fan of the game, said to me, "What you do now is more important than what you say. There's only one thing that's credible, and that's your actions."
In fact, I was so slow to get this video out that they put out another patch the other day.
Oh my
with
gosh.
Ship salvaging, ship upgrading, more advanced terrain editing, first-person exocross, improved VR, improved base building, and inventory management, and quality of life stuff. It goes on. Is it perfect?
That is the real gamer move.
Technically, there are still things on this spreadsheet missing. But come on now, we're starting to nitpick. Especially when you compare them to relationships with other games companies. They could have gone the route of Fallout 76. Paywall mods with Fallout First, charging a monthly fee, a downward spiral more and more into pay-to-win scraps released without QA testing. But instead, they never added pay-to-win. They
Shake my
never
head.
added microtransactions or paid DLC. They never made VR as a second game. They didn't give up on the game or scale their resources back.
Holy fuck, Anthem is just so... Oh my god, I could rant about Anthem. It's so bad. Anthem! More like poo! I got nothing. Ants poo.
They didn't come out and call all gamers entitled. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't start work on the next big project or sequel. They didn't do much of anything except get back to work.
Anthem. Oh, that's a better one. That's a good one.
And just like that, the game once panned by
Hi,
critics
Anna.
now had awards rolling in.
Yay!
2019, No Man's Sky.
Yay!
No Man's Sky next.
Yay!
No Man's Sky.
Woo!
No Man's Sky's next.
No Man's Sky.
And to cap it all off, the subreddit No Man's Sky the game even got together and pooled money for a GoFundMe to have a billboard installed near the Hello Games offices.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It must have been a harrowing moment for Sean and the team. They took a huge risk to start a small studio. They clawed their way up to create
After
one
a
of the most
massive
notable
fuck
games
up.
of the console generation.
Mhm.
Disappointed pretty much everyone with the release, and took one of the biggest online beatings in video game history.
And they climbed back up.
Family post-release.
What is that saying? It doesn't matter how many times you get beat down, as long as you get it back up again. Whatever that quote is. They got beat the fuck down. Asses beat.
We faced some really difficult challenges. Everything that you can imagine.
It does not matter how many times you fall. What matters is that you get up. Yeah. Exactly. Get it back up again. That's what she said. You know what I mean?
From like the worst of the internet, we hit.
But then, over the course of the next 3 years, completely turned it around and came out the other side with a win.
Yay!
It's the underdog story. And after doing all of this research, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that they were the good guys. So what is the future for Hello Games? In 2017, they announced Hello Labs, a support program focused on original titles and games using procedural generation. Two of the team also branched off to work on a small title called The Last Campfire.
What's that?
For the foreseeable future, they're just working on No Man's Sky.
Doesn't matter how much you get beat off as long as you get hard again. Yo, that's gay as heck. Oh, that was wholesome.
I didn't want to finish the video on like a big sappy note. So, this is the end of the story, but there's still another few minutes. Don't leave. It's not
I'm
an
leaving.
ad.
I'm
Okay,
leaving.
In 2015,
All
when
right.
the hype was at its peak, someone wrote a Sean Murray erotic fanfiction, and I arrived at the Hello Games office in the early evening as the sun was approaching the horizon. Taking a deep breath, I nervously pressed the doorbell. The door opened, and Sean poked his expressive face out to greet me. "Hey you," he exclaimed in his adorable British-Australian accent. "I'm so happy you could make it and spend the evening with us." "I was so happy when I heard you agreed to let me come in for an interview," I said. "Oh yeah, the interview. I forgot," he replied with his usual brilliant humor. I laughed. "He's so funny, Sean."
He's so
"Let me
funny,
show you my
Sean.
office." "I have a surprise for you," Sean said. He led me to the room where we sat down on a soft vinyl couch.
Uh-oh.
"So let me show you the surprise," he said, softly. "It's the newest build of the game.
Oh, I
We
played
just
Plume's
added some
TD,
new
yeah.
features." He
Understandable.
booted up the game on a PS4 in his office. I stared at his face.
It's the casting
"I
couch.
like your beard. It's sexy," I pretended to say to him in my head to myself. I had a secret crush on him. There was something about his humble demeanor and feeble yet handsome bone structure that was so alluring. "So here's the game," he said eagerly. It opened on an alien world just calling out to be explored. I began to sweat. Here
Sweat.
it finally was, in front of
Mm.
me in all of its
I began to
glory,
perspirate.
and it was being played by Sean in front of me in all of his glory. I nervously spoke. "Could I try playing?" I said. "Oh, I suppose,
of course.
he said, chuckling. But another few minutes passed without him handing me the controls. "Sean," I said more confidently. I put my hands on his hands as he
Ooh,
gripped
how
the
intimate.
controller. He looked
How
me straight in
intimate.
the eyes. I stared deep into his beautiful, glistening eyes, utterly transfixed. "Sure," he said. He let go of the PlayStation controller, still sweaty from his firm grip. But I have another
Ew!
surprise to show you.
Dude, I fucking hated it when my friend were playing, like, any games and they would hand me the controller and it was sweaty. It's just, like, that was one of my biggest pet peeves. What?
He stood up. "Mike,"
Redacted.
he muttered. "Please," I said, blushing as red as...
No, we're done. I'm not reading this. I am not having Internet Historian read out fucking Kaka fanfiction. sweaty. I got sweaty. I got Cheeto grimed abominations handed to me. Ew, sick. She's too cringe now? No, I'm not cringe.
Liar!